Good evening, everyone, and warm greetings in whatever time zone you may be. My name is Russ Gannum, and I am Associate Provost and Dean of International Programs at the University of Iowa. On behalf of the Office of International Programs and the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies, I am delighted to welcome you to our Lunar New Year celebration. Our motivation for organizing this event is twofold. First, we wish to honor the traditions surrounding the coming of spring in parts of the world where we have a deep and abiding connection. That is to say, China, Japan, Korea, and Southeast Asia. Secondly, as the pandemic continues, we seek to provide a platform where our community can come together, albeit virtually, to commemorate these activities and to learn more about them. As you know, this year, we celebrate the Year of the Tiger. The tiger's traits are among the best as we face the challenges of COVID together. Notably, the tiger is strong-willed, pioneering, playful, enthusiastic, fearless, and with a strong sense of social justice. Each of you has demonstrated these qualities in the past year, and we will rely on them again to help us to the other side of this pandemic. As we did last year, our chief means of celebrating the new year is through food. I, for one, cannot wait to learn about traditional recipes as we usher in this new year. We will also be interviewing guests and asking them a little bit about their traditions and how they celebrate the new year in their home countries. So please enjoy the cooking demonstrations, enjoy the interviews, and don't forget to raise a glass at the end of the program. And now, please let me turn things over to my esteemed colleague, Professor Cynthia Chow, Director of the Center for Asian and Pacific Programs, who will provide a brief welcome and also an explanation of tonight's program. Cynthia, the microphone is yours.
Thank you very much, Russ. Well, good evening or good morning, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Cynthia Chow, and I'm the incumbent director for the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies at the University of Iowa. Thank you very much for celebrating the Lunar New Year with us this evening. All across Asia, the arrival of spring is being celebrated. And for the Chinese, Koreans, and various Southeast Asian communities, it is marked with the beginning of the new year on the lunar calendar. And although the Japanese celebrate the new year much earlier, on the 1st of January, we are all coming together for a joint Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Southeast Asian Lunar New Year celebration this evening. And collaborating with international programs and the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies in this webinar are the Department of Asian and Slavic Languages and Literatures, Iowa City Area Chinese Association, and Kennedy High School in Cedar Rapids. Due to the pandemic, we held our first Lunar New Year celebration webinar last year. Now, even in difficult times, let's remember that there can always be something good that might come out of it. That first webinar brought such joy and a spirit of togetherness to all who were self-isolating, that there have been requests since then for an encore to usher in the Year of the Tiger together. I hope that even as the pandemic continues to hover over us, we'll continue to be together in a spirit of unity. And for this evening, we have put together a program with lots of fun, comprising 3 segments for you. And running through these segments, you will find that there is a theme of family spirit of the Lunar New Year. And so we will begin this first segment with Dean Russ Gannum having a live discussion with faculty members, and some of them with their families, right, who will share their thoughts on what the new year means to them. Russ?
Yes. Well, thank you, Cynthia. And before I start interviewing the families, I do want to thank our wonderful staff in the Office of International Programs, in particular, our communications and constituent relations team, Saralta Peterson, who put together tonight's program, as well as Amy Green. Both of them are staffing the tech tonight. They've done a wonderful job putting everything together, and we owe them a round of applause. So we'll continue tonight's festivities by interviewing some of the participants and asking them what Spring Festival means to them. And so I'd like to just introduce the names at first, and then I will have separate conversations with each of the little groups. So it's my pleasure to first introduce Dr. Satsuki Matsumoto, who is a neurologist and clinical assistant professor of pediatrics at UIHC, along with her daughter, Hane Matsumoto, and her son, Kota Matsumoto. In addition, we have Dr. Keiku Karamoro and Dr. Hao Fang, both from the Department of Mathematics. Their daughter is with them as well. And then finally, we will have a conversation with Dr. Hosin David Lee, who is a professor of civil and environmental engineering, and he's also affiliated with the Public Policy Center. But first, let me start with the Matsumoto family. And I hope we can see them. They have their cameras on. So again, this is Dr. Satsuki Matsumoto and her daughter Hane and son Kota. And I would like to ask you about the tradition of otoshidama. My understanding is that this is a monetary gift. And for Japanese children, otoshidama is sort of the single biggest event of the new year. It's kind of like Christmas or receiving Christmas presents for American children. And so I thought maybe I'd ask the children first, Hane and Kota, what otoshidama means to them and how they celebrate it in their family.
So do you want to talk about how we celebrate the New Year?
So first, I want to say that I like all the parts of New Year about during family reunion, and that we can see our cousins that live far. But otoshidama is, my sister said she wants to do it, so.
Okay.
What?
I'll
She
briefly
did.
explain what it is. So it's basically a custom when older relatives give children in that family like money in like small paper envelopes like these. And then the envelopes usually have like lots of designs and like characters on them, so it's really fun. And then as the children get older, the amount of money they receive usually increases, which makes the kids even more excited. And yeah, it's a lot like Christmas presents.
That sounds like fun. And can you tell us what you did this year?
This year we didn't go to Japan over winter break, so we haven't really done
So,
much.
but grandparents sent us pictures of the envelope that the grandma and grandpa and aunts and uncles gave them. So we have the pictures.
Very good. And is it not too indiscreet of me to ask the kids how they might spend their money?
Not planned right now.
Okay, no plans for the moment, huh?
So I think many of them expect that money to be saved for good use for later. So some family have rules like, you save, this much for the future, but this can be your spending money sort of things.
Very good, very good. And since tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about food, I'm wondering if there are special dishes that your family prepares to celebrate the new year.
Do you want to talk about it? So this is not a special. Well, this is not the real thing. This is fake thing. But so this white stocks, it's supposed to be real rice cakes, the real mochi, and And this is a traditional Japanese decoration for the New Year. And we have this made with real mochi for the New Year's. And toward the end, we open it up and then put it into special kind of soup that has mochi in it. And that's something that we eat in the New Year.
Oh, it sounds absolutely delicious. Is there any kind of symbolism behind it? Does it signify prosperity or health?
Yes, prosperity and health. And it seems like it was initially made as an offering for God, like a God for the New Year.
I see. No, very, very good. Just another question for the kids. Do you talk about your traditions in your classes here in Iowa City? Well, maybe first of all, I should ask, what grades are you in?
I'm in 4th grade.
And I'm a junior.
And you're a junior. Okay, very good. And so do you share these traditions with your friends or classmates?
Not that much.
Not that much.
Well, almost never.
Well, I hope that maybe one day they will ask you questions about these traditions so that they can learn, because we can all benefit from knowing more about each other's cultures. So thank you for sharing that with me. And then I did have another question for your family. I'm very interested in this practice of usoji. I hope that I'm pronouncing it correctly. And that's the practice of organizing or cleaning house at the end of the year so that people can enter the new year with a clean slate. Is this something that you practice in your home, or that your family traditionally in Japan has done?
Yes.
So this is all soji. This literally means big, and soji means cleanup. So all soji basically means big cleanup. And this is the whole family participate, and we deep clean the house over a couple of days. And this is actually Kota helping us clean the kitchen this past year. So this is something that we every member of the family help. And this also started out as a way to welcome the deity or the god of the new year. But these days, I don't think people think about the gods, but I think I would say majority of the people do it again to enter the new year with clean slate. And even here, when we don't go to Japan for the New Year's, this is something that we always do. And after we clean up, we put up like decorations for like a new year.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so let me ask the kids, did you enjoy doing the deep cleaning of your house this year?
Yeah, I liked some parts actually.
And
Yeah,
and
I
so,
enjoyed as well.
oh, say it again, please.
Oh, I enjoy cleaning as well, but a lot of times we don't completely finish in time, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. No, I'm sure that your parents appreciate the help, and it is good whether you're welcoming a deity or not. To start the new year with a clean house, I think puts everybody in the right frame of mind. So that's a wonderful tradition. I think I'm going to ask my family to adopt it. Very good. Well, listen, thank you. I think now we will need to move to our next set of interviews, and that is with Dr. Kiko Karamuro and Dr. Hao Fang. I hope that and their daughter as well. I hope that we can see them on the video screen. And so Dr. Kawamoto and Dr. Fang, please introduce us to your daughter, and tell us a little bit about the New Year traditions in your household.
To my daughter?
Well, I guess if you could just introduce us to your daughter, and then if you could, as a family, talk about the New Year traditions in your household.
This is our daughter Yulia Fang. She also had a Japanese she's name Yulia Kawamura, and she's third grade in Lincoln. And we talking about the celebration. So if we were in Japan, so we do a lot of celebration, traditional celebration in Japan, in the traditional Japanese house. So my wife might be able to talk about it. So unfortunately, we have so far have never been in China during the Chinese New Year time because of the school here. So probably my daughter is not very familiar with the Chinese side of the story.
We go to Japan every winter, and these 2 years, my husband had to stay in America because of Corona. But regular year, we go to Japan. Then December 30th, we go to relatives' house to make mochi. We made a lot of mochi for 3 or 4 families. Then we got some back home. And
I was just gonna say, that sounds wonderful. What do you put in the mochi?
it's just a plain white mochi, no flavor, just sweet rice. And then on the New Year Day, we cut the mochi into these pieces. Then we made a soup and we put the baked mochi into the soup and we eat mochi together. Then our family tradition is to visit my father's tomb after that. That's the New Year Day tradition.
I understand.
So that's different from other family.
Right, but I'm sure it's very meaningful for you and your family. Could you tell us what part of Japan you're from, and what it's like in the winter?
I'm from Yokohama, that's south of Tokyo, and that is the city Japan opened up to our country, to Western world, 150 years ago.
Yes, isn't that where Commodore Perry landed? Yes. Okay.
Right. Very
right.
international.
Very
right.
international city. Yes, I've heard. I've only been to Japan once, but I've heard a lot about Yokohama Harbor and how it really is sort of a melting pot of all sorts of different cultures where people from all over the world congregate.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. And I'm wondering, so how, I hope that your family in Japan and your family in China, that they're doing well, that, you know, they've remained healthy despite the pandemic. It's been, you know, challenging for everyone, but it must be difficult, especially when most of your family is halfway around the world. Luckily, we have Zoom. We can communicate more easily than we did several years ago. But how are your families doing in China and Japan?
We are. Most of my family are in Beijing and Shanghai. So you mean now I think they are celebrating the New Year. So since the celebration started about 20-30 days ago, and it will probably last another 10 days roughly. So I think everyone, there are a lot of challenges that we're trying to get by with.
Right. No, I can understand that. Have you been able to at least see or attend virtually some of the celebrations that your family is having in Beijing and Shanghai?
talking about celebration, I think my family is not usually don't celebrate this kind of festivals. The things certainly changing during the time. So when I was younger, when the older generation, my grandparents' age, there are more celebrations. So the traditions in China varies a lot and certainly evolves a lot over the time, especially the last 20, 30 years. So unfortunately, I don't think I have celebrated Chinese New Year for the last 10, 15 years at least.
All right, I understand. But thank you for celebrating with us. We deeply appreciate that. And just let me ask your daughter one question before I move on to Dr. Lee. Could you tell us if you have any wishes for the new year or anything that you would like to do in this new year?
I don't really have one, but I get to play with my cousins because sometimes my cousins are here.
That's great. And how old are your cousins?
12 and 9.
Okay. And how old are you again? Are you 9 years old?
I'm 7.
Oh, you're 7. Okay, so they're a little bit older than you are. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you get to play with them and see them. This is a special time of year, and what makes it special is that families get to see one another and spend time together. So thank you, Dr. Kawamura and Dr. Fang, and thank you to your daughter as well. And happy New Year, happy Year of the Tiger to all three of you.
And you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And now our final interview is with Dr. Hosin David Lee, who is a professor of civil and environmental engineering. He's also affiliated with the Public Policy Center. And Dr. Lee has a series of slides that he would like to show us, kind of a family history of how the Lee family has celebrated the Lunar New Year. So Dr. Lee, welcome.
Okay.
And could you tell us a little bit about the traditions in your family and kind of what these slides represent?
First, I'd like to compare, like in Korea, we celebrate both solar and Lunar New Year. But I can say people appreciate like lunar calendar 3 times more than solar New Year, based upon Lunar New Year holiday is 3 days. Solar New Year January 1 is 1 day. So I can say people recognize the difference, and they take lunar calendar New Year more seriously. And it's a big celebration. So I'd like to share my PowerPoint file with the pictures that I dig into my old pictures. So I'd like to start with that presentation, okay?
Please, yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Share. And do you see the PowerPoint okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I wrote in both English and Korean, and Lunar New Year's Day in Korea. 한국의 음력설, we call that. My name is Hosin Lee, or Lee Ho-shin. First thing we do is bow to the ancestors and great-grandparents. And this is my real picture with my family sitting. It's my wife. She's just before she married me, so it was a long time ago, my parents. And we get together a morning and bow to the ancestors. Okay, that's the first step. We thank them for just having, New Year's Day. This is me bowing. Right hand side is my wife bowing. And the first thing is to be older by 1 year. everybody must eat rice cake soup. If you don't eat rice cake soup, you don't get to be 1 year older. So when I was young, I was like eating 2 rice cake soups so that I can be 2 years older quickly, because I wanted to get older, not now, but at the time. So it's a cooked rice and powder, and then squeeze into this hole and create a long cooked rice noodle-like, but then we slice it and eat. This is my this is Iowa playmate, so it's at home. I just took this picture. And like I heard Japanese culture that also, I think we have same culture that bow to parents, grandparents, uncles, whoever. We try to bow as many people as possible so we make more money. So it's I was visiting in Korea a few years ago, and my cousin, my son, this is my son in the middle. I can tell by looking at from behind. But then the other are our nephews bowing to us, and we're having a good time in the hotel, and because we don't have a floor there. And then we play games called yunnori. We throw this kind of 4 pieces of wood and flipping down and up, and we go through. It's like a backgammon these days. And then we go jegichagi, it's the middle one, and that's what we do, like hockey sack. And this is 널뛰기. It's more like tambourine. It's the girls do this 널뛰기 and boys do jegichagi. And then boys and girls together play yunnori. And then evening, we go out for dinner while dressing with a Korean costume. This is a picture I found. And when I was in Texas, we went to one of the barbecue place with wearing this on the New Year's Day. So they were kind of surprise everybody when she dressed up with this Korean costume. So that's all I have. And hope that people get an idea of what we do in Lunar New Year's Day.
Very good. Very good. No, thank you, Dr. Lee. And just let me ask you just one question before we move to the next segment with Professor Chow. And that is, so you eat the rice cake soup to get older, so that you can advance 1 more year. But if you're of a certain age, maybe you don't want to get older.
I know, not now.
Right. And as a result, I wonder, is there anything you can eat to get younger, to go backwards a year or 2?
No, we just starve, we just starve the whole New Year's Day, hoping that we get 1 year younger. I forgot to mention about my family. I'm doing it alone because my son lives in Vietnam. He runs a business there for already 5 years. He was born in this country, in America. But then he moved to Vietnam, so it's rarely see him these days. And my wife left me and for warmer place. So sorry that I couldn't show my family like other professors.
Oh no! Well, no, I totally understand. We're very grateful for the photos and for learning a little bit more about how Korean families celebrate the Lunar New Year. So we're deeply appreciative. So thank you, Dr. Lee, and thank you to all our guests. And so
thank you.
Thank you again. And so let me now let's transition to segment 2, which will be moderated by Professor Cynthia Chow, who will provide an introduction and then a video montage. So Cynthia, I will turn things over to you again.
Thank you, Russ, and thank you all for those heartwarming conversations about the Lunar New Year. It really brings out the spirit, of the Lunar New Year for all of us. Now we move into the middle segment of this webinar celebrations. And what we're going to see in this second segment is a montage of video greetings from friends as well as alumni and also from some faculty to share their New Year thoughts with us.
안녕하세요. My name is Amelia Lakem, and I'm a University of Iowa alum who is currently living in South Korea. So today I'm here to talk a little bit about Solal, which is the Lunar New Year here. So Solal is a traditional holiday where you come together with your family and honor your ancestors. And because it's such a family-celebrated holiday, the day before and the day after are also considered national holidays to allow families to travel and meet, which means that those 2 days are the most inconvenient days to travel, maybe only rivaled by Chuseok, and especially these past 2 years, because of COVID, they've restricted ticket purchases, so it's extremely inconvenient. And because of that, I've stayed at my town of Masan. And Masan is a large city geographically, but we only have about 400,000 people living here. But because we have a large elderly community here, during Solal, my quiet town becomes bursting with life. And I have learned the hard way that because of this, you need to go grocery shopping at least a week early because people come down and buy a lot of fruits for their ancestral rites and, food to feed their families. And one of the most popular foods is tteokguk, which is the rice cake soup, which officially marks you becoming a year older when you eat it. And another personal favorite is jeon, which is the Korean pancake. So I hope you can try these food and that the Lunar New Year brings you lots of luck. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Hey guys, my name is Liam Hagan, and I've been studying Chinese at the University of Iowa since 2016, when, after my senior year of high school, I participated in the 2016 Summer Star Talk program. After that, I studied for 2 months at Tianjin University of Technology through the Iowa and Tianjin summer program. And then I think about a year after that, after receiving the Chinese government scholarship, I studied at Shandong University for 2 semesters. So yeah, done a lot of studying, done a lot of Chinese at the University of Iowa. It's been good the whole time. So how I'm going to celebrate the Spring Festival this year? Well, my girlfriend and I thought it might be fun to make some Chinese food, some stuff that you might traditionally eat in the Chinese New Year, as dumplings and noodles, and so whatever. I'm not exactly sure what all that's going to entail. I'd have to ask her, but it should be a lot of fun. Also wanted to say, you guys, 新年快乐，虎年行大运，五虎生风. So what this means is Happy New Year and great luck in the year of the tiger. So because this is the year of the tiger, when people greet each other on New Year's Day, they will often say something with hu in it, with hu meaning tiger. So anyway, thanks a lot.
大家好, my name is Theodore. I'm a senior at the University of Iowa studying Chinese and linguistics. I've been studying Chinese for 5 years now. 3 of those were at the University of Iowa, and 1 with the help of the University Chinese Department and faculty. I was able to get a scholarship to study abroad in China. My plans for the Spring Festival this year are really simple. I just want to have a small celebration at home, having hot pot with friends. But I hope for all of you watching, whether your family and friends are in the room next to you or across an ocean, that you're able to find a way to celebrate and have a good time bringing in the new year together. 祝大家新年快乐，虎年行大运，虎虎生风。
Hello, my name is Ashlyn and I'm a sophomore studying English secondary education at the University of Iowa. Korean New Year, also known as Seonal, is one of the most important holidays in Korea. People from around the world come back to their hometowns to spend time with their family, eat traditional food, and perform ancestral rites. It is usually 3 days long, starting the day before the New Year, and most people wear traditional, colorful hanboks during this time. Some of the traditional foods eaten include tteokguk, jeon, manduguk, tteok, galbijim, and japchae. I will describe one of the most important foods out of these 6, which is tteokguk. Tteokguk is a rice cake soup, with tteok meaning rice cake and guk meaning soup. It is believed that if you eat a bowl of tteokguk on New Year's, that you become a year older. It also signifies good luck for the future. There are many traditional games that are played during this holiday, such as Yut, Jegi-Chagi, and Gosta. One of the games played by children that I found interesting is spinning wooden tops on the ground. A very important aspect of Korean New Year is ancestral rituals. On the first day of Korean New Year, there's Chade. During Chade, the women of the family cook for the ancestors, and once they are finished, the food is put on a table by the men of the family as an offering to the ancestors. After chare, there is umbok. During umbok, the family members eat the food that was offered as a wish for good fortune. During sebe, the younger members of the family deeply bow towards the older members of the family and wish them good fortune in the new year. After this practice, children are usually given New Year's money, called sebedon, by the elders. With all of the traveling and gift-giving, Korean New Year's can become quite expensive, but it is recognizably important for Korean culture. Performing ancestral rituals, spending time with family, and eating delicious traditional food adds up to the amazing 3 days of Solnad. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
毎年大晦日の習慣は掃除をすることです。僕は年越しそば食べるんですが、今年はうどんしか なかったので毎年ドミノーズ遊ぶのが伝統なんですが、みんな負けず嫌いです。いつも他の人にドミノが見られないようにいつも隠してます。明けましておめでとう。毎年寿命が伸びるようにお母さんがお餅を作ってくれています。今年の夜ご飯は好きなものを入れられる手巻き寿司です。
Happy New Year!
明けましておめでとう。
明けましておめでとうございます。I'm Yumiko Nishi from the Japanese program at the University of Iowa. I'd like to show you today how my family and people in Japan celebrate the New Year.
Well, all across Asia, the Lunar New Year would not be anything without much feasting of special foods. So in this third segment that we're going to move into, we will have 3 cooking demonstrations of our faculty, comprising teams again of family, to have family spirit, to share some of their wonderful Lunar New Year recipes with us. So we're going to enjoy their cooking demonstrations, and then we're going to have a discussion with them. So in the meantime, as you watch these cooking demonstrations, if you have any questions that you'd like to pose to the chefs, please, just submit them through the Q&A function, which you can see on the lower panel of the screen. We will now enjoy the first cooking demonstration of Korean mung bean pancakes. I wouldn't attempt to pronounce it in Korean in case I mispronounce the thing, but we'll have the chefs pronounce it to us when it comes to discussions with them. And so this is going to be prepared by a husband and wife team, Young Sang-suk and Park Young-ah.
여러분 안녕하세요. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Happy New Year. Today we are going to introduce you to how to make bindaetteok, which is mung bean pancake. So what do we need to make a mung bean pancake?
Of course, we need mung beans.
Yes, a peeled mung bean.
And we need to soak overnight, so I prepared already. And we need chopped well-fermented kimchi and bracken. And blanched mung bean sprouts and onion. About
half and a quarter of the chopped onion.
And chopped green onion, 1 egg, and rice powder.
How much?
3 to 5 tablespoons.
Okay, yeah.
And this is pork and beef mixed.
So we are going to use about ½ pound of ground pork and quarter pound of ground beef. And she already seasoned it?
I seasoned with soy sauce and sugar, sesame oil, and minced garlic, cooking wine, and a little bit of pepper.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so what do we need to do first?
So we are going to mix all these prepared things in a big bowl first.
So this bracken is not necessary if you cannot find it. So you can buy this gosari. Bracken in Korean is gosari in a Korean market. So you just mix them all together.
And seasoned meat.
Okay.
And after that, we are going to prepare batter with this soaked mung beans.
We are going to grind it. We prepared about a pound of soaked mung bean. So I'm going to put it in this mixer.
You can start like half of it and put water, about a cup of water.
Okay, so we ground about a pound of soaked mung bean. This is for about 10 mung bean pancakes.
Okay, so we're going to mix this batter with prepared vegetables and meats and mix well. Before that, let's put 1 egg here. Okay, and mix well. And check the thickness of this mung bean batter. If it is too runny, you can put some rice powder that we prepared. If it is too runny, it's hard to make
so don't
nice
put
shape.
all of them at once. You know, you just put a little by little and to see the thickness of this batter.
Okay. Okay, so let's pan fry this. I think the oil is all ready.
So we need a lot of oil. So please put, plenty amount of oil on your pan.
Okay.
And about medium hot, so you should be able to hear this sound.
Some of the Korean pancakes should be very thin to have a better taste, but the mung bean pancake should be a little thicker than other pancakes, so you can make a little thicker.
And we use pork and beef, so you have to cook this thoroughly.
Okay, so I think it's ready to flip. So
you have to fry the both sides thoroughly. Okay, so we fried this for about 5 to 7 minutes, both sides, and as you can see, they are brownish. It looks really tasty. So we are going to try this. Okay, so if you well fry this, it's going to be very crispy like this.
Outside.
Yeah. We use this dipping sauce. I made this with soy sauce, water, vinegar,
and
that's
cooking.
A little bit of cooking
wine.
Okay, so let me taste this.
It's very hot.
Outside is crispy. It's really good. So I hope you guys can make this your own 빈대떡 and try this. 여러분 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
That was pretty yummy. Okay, now Lena will now prepare us a bowl of Chinese tangyuan or sweet rice dumpling to celebrate the Lunar New Year with all of us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Na Li. You can also call me Nina. I am a Chinese instructor at the University of Iowa. I am also the president of Iowa City Area Chinese Association. The dish I am going to introduce today is rice dumpling. Now, here is 1 cup of rice flour, and here is our bowl. I put in the rice flour in the bowl, and then we need warm water. So you use 1 cup of rice flour and ½ cup of water for this type of rice flour. Knead is the same with kneading flours. And then I feel it's almost okay because it's a little sticky to the gloves and not too sticky, and it's easy to shape, you see. Take small one out. Round it in the bowl of in the palm of your hands. Make it like a bowl. Now here comes my favorite part. Put your thumb to pick a hole here in the middle. See? Here's how what it's like. Then you need to put stuffing in it. I cut the stuffing into cubes. So I take out the cube. And the same thing, you need to round it. The stuffing, you put the stuffing into the bowl and then close it. Okay, now we finished 4 dumplings. We are going to put the pot with water and to have it boiled, and after it's been boiled, we'll put the dumpling in. Don't put dumpling in before the water is boiled. You can see the dumplings rising to the top, become bigger. That means it's ready. Here are the 4 dumplings on the first morning of the new year. And we will use the porcelain spoon because it's your musical accompanist while you eat.
And now our third course for today's feast is Yumi and her mother, Yoshimi, who will serve up a Japanese 7 spring herb rice porridge.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! 今日何日ですか? Today is January 7th, 2022. This is the 7th day of the New Year celebration. And this is my mom, Yoshimi. Hello. And today we're making Nanakusagayu. 土鍋の中にお米が1合とお水が5合入ってます。これを細い弱火で1時間ほど炊きます。火にかけてる間にお野菜七草を刻みます。野草は硬いので、硬いから細かく刻みます。クリスマスからお正月にかけてたくさんお酒を飲んだり美味しいものをたくさんいただいてお腹がちょっと少々疲れていますので、それを回復させるためにこの野草の力を借りてお腹を元気にするために7日の日に七草がゆをいただきます。蒸気が上がってきたのでちょっと覗いてみます。少し混ぜた方がいいので混ぜます。熱湯を少し加えて濃度を薄めてお粥をもっとさらに柔らかくなるようにします。七草を入れます。火をちょっと強くします。そしてよく混ぜ合わせます。よく混ぜ合わせたらお塩を小さじ半分ほど入れます。これで出来上がりです。できました。私の子供時代は庭とかそれから近くの田畑のあぜ道で七草を揃えることができましたけれども、今はこのように7つ揃えたこういうパックに入って売っております。
Thank you so much. What a wonderful feast. And now I'd like to invite all the master chefs, if you could turn on your videos as well as your audios. I'd like to ask you to join me on screen. Well, thank you so very much for serving up such a wonderful feast, for all of us. Well, there have been questions coming in, and so I'd like to, have a short conversation with all of you. Perhaps we could start first with Sang-suk and Chong-ah. Why do you choose the mung bean pancake among the many other Korean pancakes to usher in the Lunar New Year?
I think I can answer that. So when I was younger, my mom always prepared this nokdu bindetao, which is mung bean pancake, whenever we have big family gatherings. So it reminds me my younger time period. So I prepared this food. And actually, in addition to that, this mung bean pancake is gluten-free. So if you have allergy or you want to avoid some more gluten while you are having delicious food, this is the one that you should try.
Sounds good. And then I have another question, and perhaps Sang-suk, you could answer this one. Which vegetables for the pancakes cannot be optional, even if it's very difficult to get them from the grocery stores here?
Yeah, actually, you can get those ingredients at any Korean market, but you don't really have to put all the vegetables. So basically, we need wild vegetables and kimchi. And if you you can put any kinds of vegetables, but the kimchi is essential. So you don't have to put this bean sprout or the bracken. This is, I looked up the dictionary to find out this English word, and gosari, which is famous in Korea, but it is not easy to get here. So you don't need those kind of things if you don't have. So yeah, kimchi, you can get kimchi anywhere. I bought a bottle of kimchi at Costco yesterday. So I was surprised, they carry kimchi. So well fermented kimchi. It should taste a little bit sour
to make a delicious 녹두 빈대떡 and mung bean pancake.
Well, that's great. Before I turn on to the other chefs, I'd just like to ask Chonga and also you, Sang-suk, what's your favorite dish?
Favorite dish?
On the New Year's Day or in general?
Yeah, for the New Year's Day.
Yeah. Actually, we introduced tteokguk last year, and we really like tteokguk. So we eat tteokguk, sometimes regularly, like not on the New Year's Day, but it's a kind of common food. So we like tteokguk, and Chonga really like that kind of pancake style dish. So this mung bean pancake is one of them, but in Korea we have variety of pan fried food, and yeah, we like pan fried food in general.
That's great. That sounds wonderful. And so, Chonga, do you have anything else you might want to add to?
Actually, one of my favorite food from the big table that we prepare to celebrate our the holiday is dried persimmon.
Oh,
yeah. So, you knew that. So I really love it. It's so delicious.
Great. Okay. I'll turn to Lena. We have some questions for you, and that is, can the Yuan be savory or salty? You showed us a sweet version. Are there any other versions of it?
Yes, except being sweet, the rice dumpling can be salty. I grew up with eating the salty dumplings on New Year's morning at my grandma's house. We went back to her house once a year, and my grandma is good at making salty rice dumplings. It's ground pork with some preserved vegetables. That's the most delicious dumpling I've ever had. And my mom liked to make everything out of scratch. So she made rice dumpling with sweet stuffing, because in my grandma's time, sugar is a luxury. We cannot have sweet dumplings, but now life is sweet. So my mom made sweet dumplings.
I'm glad to hear that life is sweet. No, it's the stuffing with black sesame. I mean, we also have white sesame. So why is it with black sesame?
I think that has something to do with our philosophy of dumpling, or we call it Tang Yuan, or TY. That's the initial. Yuan means circle or round. In southern part of China, we have Tang Yuan. In northern part of China, they have dumpling. But we like to have Tang Yuan because it's warm. It's not cold. You have to have it warm. And the round means reunion. It's occasion for family reunion. So we eat round. And also round means life is a circle. We have black and white means day and night. So yes, so we have white bowl with white dumpling and black stuffing. We usually have 4 dumplings on the first morning of the new year. 4 dumplings present 4 seasons of the year, and with day and night. And so spring is considered to be the most promising season in the 4 seasons. So we make good wishes, and we have dumplings which are a good start of the new year. And if you garden your seeds of hope in spring and water it, work hard on it, you will harvest in the autumn.
That's wonderful. So, Lena, what's your favorite Chinese New Year dish?
So it's always my grandma's meat rice dumpling. And now I learned how to make it. So maybe next year I will show you how to make it.
Fantastic. Well, we've now turned to Yumi. And Yumi, could you perhaps give us some tips for cooking the 7 spring herb rice porridge? You've been successful in doing that. It looks complicated, yeah.
There are a couple of things that I forgot to mention in the video. One is that you have to use short grain rice, not the long grain kind. Yeah, you want this sweetness and and certain like sticky texture. And the second tip, it's if you have time, it's better to soak the rice in water for probably about 1 hour. Because we didn't have time, so we cut off that part. But yeah, that would be great. And the real tip I have is to use good quality sea salt. And this is what I like to use. This is the sea salt from Okinawa, Japan, which happens to be where Dr. Matsumoto is originally from. And you can pick this up at probably any supermarket in Japan. So if you go to Japan, I highly recommend that you pick up one of these bags. Very good. Yeah.
So I hear that you're bringing in, some of the ingredients from Japan to be able to make these things. Is it possible to actually find these things in the groceries here?
I think, I was just thinking that you can probably use watercress, just watercress, and just pick up, Japanese rice at Asian grocery store. It could even be Korean rice, I would think, and salt. That's all you need.
Well, but then if we pick up watercress, it's supposed to be a 7-herb rice porridge.
Yeah, one of the, probably a different variety, but one of them is, very similar to watercress.
Well, very nice. So Yumi, what's your favorite New Year dish?
Oh, the rice cake soup that I cooked last year for this event. I think the video is available on CLCL site if you're interested. And I think I sent somebody a recipe, so that's also available somewhere.
Thank you so very much, chefs, for sharing, all your wonderful talents in cooking with us and cooking up this feast, even though we are doing sort of by webinar. I think you've really whet all of our appetites. Now, time is really, running on, and we will soon have to, conclude this webinar. But before I do that, I'm going to sort of invite everybody, here to come on screen. And I would also like to say, after we raise, our glasses in a toast to wish everybody a happy Lunar New Year, we're going to show, a special Kennedy High School Dragon dance performance. And the reason for screening this dance performance is because there's an absolutely lovely story why our high schoolers would like to share this performance with us. Through this dance performance that we will be watching as we end the webinar, the Iowa City Area Chinese Association, as well as the high schools, want to thank friends of the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies who supported them in signing a petition for the Lunar New Year to be recognized in schools. And this petition has been accepted by the school district. Therefore, starting next year, all Iowa City high schools will have 1 day off to celebrate the Lunar New Year. And so schools in Cedar Rapids are now hoping that with the support of friends from the Center for Asian and Pacific Studies, the support would facilitate a day off school for high schoolers in Cedar Rapids to celebrate the Lunar New Year annually too. So please, everyone, could you come on screen and let's raise a glass to wish everybody a very happy New Year. Right.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year,
everyone. Thank you so much for celebrating this new year with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.